Hello there, and welcome to One Take Wine. What are we even doing here? I can say this, I've been in Paris over the Christmas holidays of 2023 here, and I've had a few wines. I've been on the wine hunt. I've been traveling the city, looking for something good to eat, and especially to drink. I have found lots, of course. Thought I'd just kind of take them all at once. So, start with what I'm drinking today. What do we got in my glass? Well, I'm going to do a white, I'm going to do a red, and I'm doing them kind of at the same time because I want to rose it. No, because it's the same producer. On the white here, we've got a very pineapple strictness. It reminds me of the wines of La Dois. It feels very low quality on the nose. There's a nice little lift of something delicious, but it is a bit bitter. And it is a bit thin at the same time. It's not a deep wine. It's not a super round wine. It's okay. It's a lemon pineapple combination. It doesn't feel like anything you'd want to keep around in the cellar for too long, but it has some strictness to it. The red wine, same producer. Right away on the nose, you know what it smells like? Actually, it smells like a Beaujolais. It's a bit malty and it's a tasty fruit, and I like Beaujolais anyway. But I mean, this is supposed to be a Pinot Noir, pretty sure. But this could be Gamay, or a blend of Gamay and Pinot. So what did we have in those glasses? Fanny Sabre, Bourgogne Blanc and Bourgogne Rouge, 2022. I saw these in a store on the way through, and I've been meaning to one day sort of take a shot at them, but she's a little closer to Vin Nature that I'm comfortable with, so I haven't really prioritized her wines. At the same time, I've heard some good things and I've read some good things. So I thought, I saw them and I talked to the guy in the store. He said, you should probably try them now because now I'm getting very little in allocation, and whatever I do gets snapped up. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm not sure why you would make that up. So yeah, that red's kind of nice. It's got that nice blue fruit feel that Gamay gets for me, but a very dusty sort of tannic quality. And this cannot be a Pinot Noir. It can't be a Pinot Noir. If it is a Pinot Noir, it's a very poorly made one. It's one made to resemble a Gamay. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at this with Fanny Sabre. I don't know that much about her. I know that she's well respected. She subscribes more or less to Vin Nature principles. I think she does add a little sulfur at the end. Let's just take a look at some of the other wines quickly that have happened over the course of this week so far. 2015 Chénas. I bought this at Jules. This, if you have seen some of my other videos, Jules is a wine store very close to where I stay in Paris, in a 10th district, full of young hotshots who like to talk wine, but they don't steer you wrong. This Chénas, the Jugement Dernier, it's a 2015, so it's got a few years. Desjourneys always needs a few years. This I've learned the hard way. But I think these wines are magnificent. I really do. Once you get them with some years. I've had a lot of their other wines before, in white as well, and they were always too tough when they were young, so I was very pleased to get this. 4,150 bottles produced. I knocked this one back very, very easily. Yeah, almost raisiny and Amarone style because it had that raisiny type of quality that could just be sitting around on a warm shelf. But I doubt it. It felt very natural to the wine. Smooth, full, potent, delicious. Very, very kind of Moorish. This is a very, very good value. If you go to Jules, they have some whites and reds, but these guys, do not hesitate. Another one that I like very, very much, this Bourgogne Côte from Michel Bouzereau. This is a 2020. It's a Clos de Moulin. I don't know if that's any different than just the regular Chardonnay or not, but this was magnificent. It was like a lime creamsicle. Had that sweetness, but still that sourness, and then very creamy. That's the only way I can describe that mouthfeel. It was very intense and rounded and pushy, and you get, this is a bit of a pricier just village level Burgundy, but it's well worth every euro. Right around 35 euros, 36 euros a bottle. The Marsannay 2018 by Domaine Bruno Clair. The reason I bought this one was because I've read so many great reviews about 2018 Bruno Clair. 40 euros a bottle, and this I would say that's too much money. It's a very pretty wine. It's very elegant. It's my kind of Burgundy, to be honest, because it has that elegance, but a little too thin, gives up too easy. The character's over before it even gets a chance to really get started. So, you're talking about 40 euros of very fleeting pleasure. Not for me. I wouldn't rebuy it at that price. 2017 Dugat Cuvée Halinard. I always found them very roasted. They're very, very coffee roasted, charred almost. Very distinctive in that sense, that charring. And that treatment is alive and well in this 2017 Burgundy Bourgogne Cuvée Halinard. That seems to me, it seems to be the most prevalent note. So it's not enough. I need more. I can taste that the fruit is very clean and very beautiful behind that. There's some very lovely things happening back there. But again, this is over 50 euros for a generic Burgundy. Dugat piece prices are always stupid. But okay, so I thought, all right, around 50, it's Christmas, whatever. I will give it a shot. And I wouldn't rebuy this one. I saw it again today when I was out, and I just said, nope. The last one we can talk about is this, the 2019 Bourgogne Rouge. This was fabulous. I've done some notes on the 18s and the 15s recently, and I'm always a big fan, 14. I'm a big fan of these, right? I'm always sort of plugging them. I think their 16 was fabulous of this wine. I really enjoy them. I think they're superb value for money, but this iteration, the 19, is even more so in a way, because this one, they're usually not very approachable young. As a matter of fact, the 15, which I had last year, still wasn't ready. It's like 8 years along, and it's still kind of really pretty tough. But this is open and generous and spicy and very beautifully balanced. A real Burgundy lover's Burgundy. This is super impressive, I have to say. And this was in the 45 euro range as well. And of course, if I saw another, there was only one bottle of this, and if I saw another one, I'd just immediately buy it up at that price, without a doubt, without even thinking about it. Very, very, very good. Probably the best young vintage of this that I've ever had. Certainly much more approachable and much more enjoyable than 18. Absolutely, without a doubt. Maybe it doesn't have as much stuffing, but in some ways that does this wine a service, because there's so much complexity in the delicacy of the fruit. There's so many things happening. There's a little bit of spice and all of those things that you really can't get when it's too tough, when it's too walled in, when it's too sort of tough for its own good from the start, just so that it can age a couple of years. This is the way you should be making them, I think, if you can. It's a really, really approachable, beautiful, exactly what a Bourgogne Rouge should be doing. I really enjoyed this very, very much. That's what I got for this time. Fanny Sabre, I'm going to wrap it up by saying, I think there's way better examples of that style of white wine out there. I wouldn't buy this again. It's clean though, I'll give it that. And the red, I have to look this up now because if it's Pinot Noir, something's really wrong. It's almost starting to gas up again. All right, that's what I have for this time. Thanks so much for watching. Stay thirsty. We'll see you again.